It's been a while since I've sat down and done a video like this, so I just wanted to go ahead and explain a little bit as to why I decided to take a little bit of a break. Recently, which I had been talking about in other videos, I had brought up that I was going to be having rhinoplasty and septoplasty done. It was such a hindrance to try to breathe through my nose before all of this, and recently I've been a little sick, so I'm having issues breathing through my nose right now, and also my nose is healing, so it's a little swollen, so it's harder to breathe through it, but for the most part it's been a lot better, and I am very happy that I went through with the surgery. It was on October 25th that I went in for surgery. The week prior to that, I decided that I needed to get back on my Prozac because I was having a lot of anxiety about the upcoming procedure, and I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't think. And so I've been on Prozac again since like a week or two before my surgery. And I ended up going in obviously on the 25th to have the procedure done, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that because there were some funny things that happened while I was there. So first things first, I obviously was pretty nervous that morning. I felt like I was gonna puke, but I kind of pushed through, and we went to the hospital and everything was good. I got called back and I was in pre-op. Of course, because of COVID regulations, William wasn't allowed to come back with me, so I was back there alone. I had these really awesome nurses, and they really did their best to make sure that I was comfortable. Unfortunately for me, they had a hard time putting the IV into my hands, so they ended up having to put it up higher in the crease of my elbow. So I had bruises all over the place, and I actually ended up, when they were trying to put the IV into my hands, I ended up bleeding a lot. And they were like, okay, yeah, I think your veins are a little too small on your hands, we'll move up. So they did. After that, everything was like normal. I had everybody, the anesthesiologist come back and tell me about like the intubation and stuff like that. And I had to sign my consent forms and whatnot. That was all normal. And I remember there was a certain point where they were like, okay, we're going to be getting ready to wheel you back to the operation room. And so they said, we're gonna give you this medicine, you're going to feel really good. And so as they started to cart me away, I felt it like come over me, and I was just like in a state of pure just bliss. It was like the best feeling I've ever had in my life. And I was like, wow, that felt good. And then I remember them carting me back into the OR. When I got back into the OR, I think that they were just checking to see if I could still move and stuff, but they asked me to try to move onto the table. And of course, I was so out of it at that point. I was thinking like, I can't move at all, and I saw all the people standing around me like staring at me, and it was just weird, and I was just like, whoa. It was very lucid. I just felt like I was not fully present. So after the surgery, I was alone in post-op, and because, with the COVID regulations, they were very strict on certain things. And so I was waiting for William to come back. And I remember my nurse, she kept telling me, it's okay, he'll be coming back soon, it's okay. And I was crying, I was bawling my eyes out. And I kept telling her, I need William, I need William, I need William. And I think she finally got annoyed and was like, okay, we'll get William. Because in the next like few minutes, William was back there with me. And they were getting me ready to send me out. And they were, you know, making sure that I was capable of, you know, at least moving from the bed to the wheelchair, to be wheeled out to the car, etc. They told William to go ahead and go out and wait for me, that I would be out there soon. But before they sent him out, I distinctly remember the nurse asking if I wanted her to dress me or if I wanted William to dress me. And I obviously immediately said William. And I turned to William and I remember distinctly saying, he's seen my butt before. And it was so funny. And I think the nurse just kind of like was like whatever, because I was probably like the second or third high person that she had to take care of. So she was probably like whatever. And so William helped me get dressed, and then he went out and he got the car and I fell back to sleep. I don't think that they were necessarily in a rush to get me out of the bed and down and out of the hospital. So I was just asleep for at least a half an hour. And William, I guess, was going around the medical circle that they have, waiting for them to pull out with me in the wheelchair. And so finally I end up waking up. The nurse and this guy who wheeled me out, they came up and they got me situated in the wheelchair. And I was like thanking them like so much. I just kept saying, thank you so much, you guys, thank you. I'm just so thankful, thank you. And then I tried to like, you know, initiate small talk with the guy who was pushing out my wheelchair. And he was not having it. He did not want to have a conversation with me. I just remember like trying to have a conversation with him and him just being like silent. And I was like, okay. And then I'd be like, you know what, you have a good day. Thank you so, so much. And it was whatever. At that point, I was so like out of my mind. So we went home. And of course, I wasn't able to eat anything for at least 12 hours before my surgery. My surgery was, I believe it was at 10:45 in the morning, is when I actually went back to the OR. But we got home and I was obviously hungry. And so William made me some French fries. And that's gonna become a common theme. So William made me some French fries and I was like, on cloud nine. I ate all the French fries and then I looked at him and I was like, I'm tired. I think I'm gonna go to sleep. And then I went upstairs and I was literally out cold for days. Like I remember distinctly like certain periods of time like waking up and being like, I'm hungry, I want some grapes or I want some French fries. And William would go get me grapes or go get me French fries. And then I remember I would have to like pee, obviously. And so he would like guide me to the bathroom, let me go, and then scoop me back up basically and put me back in bed. And I had obviously the hospital socks on that you're supposed to wear when you're in the hospital. I still had them on. And so I was just cruising around the house in my little hospital socks for at least a week. And you know, it was really such a strange situation because I guess they had told William, you know, they with discharge and everything, they were telling me, well, not telling me, telling him, you know, how to help me and take care of me and stuff. And they had said to him that I wasn't allowed to take a shower for another 48 hours. So I didn't end up showering for the first 2 days. And then finally on the third day, William helped me take a shower, and then things started coming back, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm getting back to normal a little bit. And by the end of the week, I was staying up a lot more throughout the day than I had been in the beginning of the week. And my nose was actually healing really well. And so I can throw up some pictures of my nose and what I looked like during that time period. It was a crazy scenario. I don't know. I'm glad that I got it done. And I really just, if you have good insurance and you have a problem with your nose and you have a hard time breathing through it, I would really consider going and getting it checked out, because the worst thing they're gonna say is there's nothing we can do for you. So by the end of the first week, I had to go back in to get my, oh, they were so awful, to get my internal splints taken out and my stitches. Oh, and then the outside splint taken off. And so I went, and I wasn't necessarily nervous, but I was like, okay, I really want these off and I'm really anxious to get them off. So the doctor came in and he popped off the splint and he pulled out, oh my gosh, I'm gonna put a picture up too of these. Oh my gosh, they were huge. They went like the whole entire like length of my nose, and they had a tiny little tube in them that you could breathe through. And I'm telling you what, the second that he pulled them out, I could smell everything, and it was disgusting. Oh my gosh, it was the nastiest thing. And I used like an analogy of how, you know, in SpongeBob, there's that one episode where Patrick notices that everybody else has a nose, so he wants one, and when he gets one, he realizes that there aren't just good smells, there are bad smells, and he can smell everything. That's literally how I felt, because I was like, smells that I hadn't ever noticed before, I was like, oh my gosh, it was awful. And I spent at least like a week after having that taken out where my nose was hypersensitive. Like I had to burn candles throughout the house because even the smell of the dishes that had just been put in the sink, even the smell of the dishes being there grossed me out. And it was awful. And even like the inside of my nose, I don't know how to explain it, but it smelled terrible. The inside of my nose smelled terrible. So I was not very happy about that portion of it, but you know, it kind of worked itself out after a little bit. Now I am doing a lot better. I wanted to give a little update before I hop back into my usual videos and stuff, because it's been a while since I've done it and I've kind of been, you know, trying to heal, and it doesn't help that like I said, I'm not feeling very well right now. My niece gave me a cold, so that was fun. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can get back into the swing of things and that you guys stick around and try to enjoy this new, like, not new lifestyle, but like new me in a sense. Like, you know, it's been a year. I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. If you could go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe if you like the content. If not, don't worry about it. That's fine. I get it. But yeah, thank you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!